So hi everyone, we're gonna continue on our OmniSharp experiment here, and yeah, let's go. So BSP. So last time, let me just switch here. Last time I was looking into this issue that I have when I'm trying to start language server, the OmniSharp server, with the BSP implementation. When I build it locally, I get errors, so I cannot even start it. And I was looking into the specific error that they had. Yeah, okay. At least this error looked like some assembly was loaded incorrectly. And I saw that there are some overrides that were made here. Let's see. Do we have here global? Oh, yeah, okay. And this is because, let me just switch back. Because I installed Windows .NET SDK 10, not Windows 10. I would not do that. And it was on a different toolbox. So TBE net 10. Okay, now we can jump to OmniSharp. Here we go. And I saw in the cake files this here. I don't think so. Where was that cake? Cake like this. Cake. Build cake. Install.NET SDK. Install.NET. Prepare tests and so on. Build with .NET CLI. This sounds like the correct build function for us. Minimal get ms build repository name. Repository minimal. Okay, this is something else here. Log file name base. Project imports. Lose. Embed a none. This is this regarding logs? Here we have some config. Where does this come from? Let's go back. Oop. Here. Assembly version, file version information. Minimum runtime was .NET 6. then we have this and I saw somewhere overrides. Binding redirects. This is what I meant with overrides. Binding redirects. So when we do publish to mono, we do binding redirects. When we do publish build, so runtime, with everything today, do we need to publish this with a RID? This appears to be legacy bit when we used to push for all supported .NET Core RIDs. Publish ready to run. Improves startup performance by applying some AUT compilation. Self-contained false, since we are specifying a runtime identifier, this defaults to true. We don't need to ship a runtime for .NET 6 because we require the .NET SDK to be installed. But I think we changed that to .NET 8. No, not really. So did I change it to .NET 9? Yep, here we change it to .NET 9. But we should really build for .NET 8, I guess. Just because .NET 6 is already out of support. And .NET 8 is the last supported till next year. Right. But we may need to install .NET 8 also here. Let's just open up a new terminal. See what we have here. List SDKs. So we have 9 and 10. So do the DNF install .NET SDK 8.0. Looks good. Okay, then output directory, runtime, framework version. Toolpath, working directory, and so on. Copy extra dependencies. What's this? Copy license. Okay, that's fine. And that's one folder framework. And then we have package stuff. And we have here the update binding redirects where we get the config, load app config, find binding, runtime. Read assembly name from OmniSharp library. Create binding, redirect, and add to bindings. For the assembly name, so for each OmniSharp DLL, create binding, redirect, find Roslyn libraries. And for them, we do also a binding redirect. So, but binding redirect to what? Dependent assembly. So maybe what we could do here, just look at one of the deployments of OmniSharp and see what's in there. So if you look here in this one, let's say we take the Linux x64 this one. What's the difference? It's only zip tar. Zipped. Yeah, okay. So different formats here. So we take, let's take this one. Let's extract it here. Look at here, and we should find config. This one. Open with neovim, of course. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have some lacking plugins because it opens it not inside the toolbox, and I have only this stuff set up in a toolbox. That's fine for now. At least we see the binding redirects. How this is configured. There are quite some. of them here. I think we should be able also to define them in the CS project or in the global one. That's strange. Why does it state the full framework here? Supported runtime. It's only important for the full framework. So my thinking was that it may, because this error that I had may be related to this binding redirects. Because now I don't use the cake build, so this stuff does not happen when I build it locally. This one is done for every publish. As it seems, so the framework does not actually matter here. Okay. And then what should we do next? Just build and publish here. Okay, we get an error. benchmark project asset JSON. Doesn't have a target for .NET 8. Yeah, that's fine. Downgrade. Centrally defined. Okay. I think we need to bump some versions here. .NET outdated. Minus VL minor. Oops. Yeah, I think minor was right, but are you sure this is a well.NET course? What? Why? Let's get at least here. This package is props up. Again, wait. What is the issue here? Detected package downgrade from 9.11 to centrally defined 9.10 syntax JSON, but I think I did not define it somewhere here. Oh, it is defined here. Okay. Do here. And 11. Let's go back. Try again. This looks better. So there's a new version out there. Or code analysis stuff. Okay, but it's not that important. Try again to build it. Okay, so this worked now. We go to the LSP configuration and try change the config here so that we load the OmniSharp server that we just built. Yeah, we change this only to .NET 8 because this is the minimal version. Supported now because we changed it before, right? So this should be it. Now, if we go to standard IO driver program, fine. We see that the language server didn't start it. So it will have the same issue, I guess. Let me see, LSP logs. Let's just delete them for now, real quick, and try the whole thing again so that we get fresh logs. So we have failed to handle request. Type initialization exception. The type initializer for shadow copy analyze assembly loader for an exception. Missing method, exception method not found. I analyze assembly loader internal. Analyze assembly loader, create non-locking loader. Seems that it cannot find this function in there. The assembly loader. Analyze assembly. Just search the code a little bit for assembly loader, if you can find something. Some hints. Either the analyzer assembly loader is not loaded at all, or it lacks this function. But let's try to find it here. And yeah, okay, now I don't have the LSP. Because what I wanted to do is to jump actually to the definition here, but it does not work. So okay, let's do it differently. We go to the config and we disable the currently built version and use the pre-built one. Hi, I'm Fossy. How are you? So we go back here again. Let's start and go to some driver programs. Yes. Search for our assembly loader here. The function that actually creates the assembly loader. This is here from this factory. Why does this not work? This comes from code analysis external access OmniSharp version 5300. Yeah, I'm doing also good, thank you. Any news on your side? Anything new you want to share? So this is loaded, I guess, because we tried to load. Whoa. Okay, many errors here. Oh, actually, I could update the OmniSharp server, because I guess there should be a new version. Oh, we have already the newest version. Okay, so that's not it. This one. This is failing here. When we try to go to this one or to this one, does not work. Okay. So let's just try this one. Actually, only for A. Wanna see if we can jump to the definition here. Sure, I operate at the shell much more now. Sacrificed syntax highlighting fairly recently. Gosh, I did some bash scripting for my workflow now. Instead of using neovim, Lua. Instead of using neovim Lua. So you switched from bash to Lua, or from neovim and Lua to bash scripting? Didn't got this one. So neovim itself has barely any plugins, but I am even more efficient. Ah, okay. Bad at timing, huh? You may have to repeat what you said from like a minute ago. 25 seconds left. Oh, sorry. There is a break incoming. Ah, yeah. Now it's back. Ah, okay. Sorry. I'm not used to the ads stuff. Sorry. I said, did you switch from neovim Lua to bash scripting? Did I understand that correctly? So you reduced your neovim configuration, but you're more efficient because you use like the basics, right? More efficiently. Did also like with every release of neovim, they get more and more really basic stuff into the core, which like most of the people do install anyway via plugins. Like the plugin manager now isn't core. Yeah, but it's not like traditional CD and ls spam. It's also more efficient than that. Okay. What do you do with bash scripting? Like how your workflow is looking like? Or, and another question, did you try fish? I just looked a couple of times into the fish scripts, but they seem like more natural, easier to understand, and harder to do like wrong stuff. Yeah, thanks. So do we have a bad argument on pairs? Okay, this is in extend LSP. So messages. Definition, bad arguments, 1, 2 I pairs. Table expected, got user data. Seems that we have found some bug in there. So should we look into that? Yeah, no, I think I will do it later on. Does annoys me, but don't want to spend time currently there. I made some selection logic, so I can select multiple files. Okay. You're also free just to drop the messages in the AK/server. That's fine. It's not like you will spam someone because there are not too many people there, so it's fine. Nice background. So yeah, I will look into it after the stream, right? I will take time to actually digest the stuff. So why cannot load this assembly loader? Code analysis assembly loader. The code analysis we have. Like Packages, props. Do we have everywhere the same version, right? So there's no mismatch on the version side here. So maybe we search for code analysis. A month ago. Neovim, the one I sent was showing zip files. When I sent you, okay. You can get a lot of powerful functionality using bash. To answer your question about fish, I used it, but switched to bash now. I'm going a lot more primitive and loving it. Yeah, I think it's basically a good idea because you're more versatile, I guess, if you go with the basic tooling because it's everywhere. Most of the time already pre-installed, like bash is like really everywhere. Fish is I think fish is superior to bash in many ways. You have to kind of install it everywhere because it's not pre-installed, right? So it's limiting you in a way. RG, fast alternative to ripgrab, and FD, fast alternative to find are game changers. I have both also installed, but I never managed to remember all the flags for RG and FD. Every time I look them up when I need them. Yep, and since I'm not dependent on syntax highlighting, I hop between languages and I'm not like, oh my god, I need to set up this environment up for the specific language, etc. I'm just a lot more versatile that even without LSP I can navigate OK and RG around for things, etc. It's very nice feeling. Yeah, I can imagine, yeah, that this is nice. For me, it would be, I think, hard to switch to something basic like that because I'm heavily dependent on LSP nowadays. Yeah, sure, you can. The point is to treat the shell like the IDE rather than the editor. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so your main focus is more on the shell and using like the shell commands instead of pimping your editor and staying like in the editor most of the time. Yeah, my goal is actually getting the neovim's pipe like this one being more useful than it currently is, because currently you cannot really work with it that much, because if you select stuff and try to pipe it, then it pipes always the whole lines, right? This is how it is done in Vim, and neovim inherited that limitation actually, which I think it comes from the ED editor back then. So because it works only line-wise, something like that. But yeah, the PR that I was working on, and I'm still working when I get time, I will finish it. I try actually to implement this functionality that you can select stuff and then pipe it, and you will pipe only the selected portion of the text. And then you can just do the nice piping back and forth with your bash inside the editor, and kind of leverage this tooling that you mentioned, combining like shell commands, but then you can do that on the text and putting the result directly back into your buffer. The editor is secondary essentially. I keep track of edited files, so I can just type E to show recently edited files in the current directory and subdirectories, and then EE for showing all globally recently edited files across any directory. That's nice. I think the only improvement that I did on my shell is using like the fuzzy finder to search in specific directories where I know there are my projects. So what I do is actually here, if I wanna switch to any of my projects, I do FP for find project, and then I can kind of fuzzy find through my projects and switch to them. Then I have also find project and n, which means find project and open it in neovim. And then when I kind of search for, let's say, LuaKit, right, then it opens up and I'm inside my LuaKit project. I have also this plugin for switch projects, projection or something like that. I think something like that it's called, which does basically the same. But yeah, I'm kind of used to do this from inside the shell. This wasn't my initial idea, so I see this done by a friend of mine and gave it a go, and now I can be in any directory and just visit all of my files rapid using fuzzy finding. Around a month ago now, I didn't even have anything in my bash RC. Now it is 800 LOC plus. And what's funny is I haven't been solely focusing on that lore. Just haven't removed what I no longer need. FP is a bit like my C, which shows any change directories, and I can just fuzzy find there, etc. Yeah, kind of. Mine's just only limited to specific location where I know how my the structure is, and where I know there are definitely my projects. But yeah, looks like that. You just gave me an idea, so I could store a file called projects and then type PM for project manager. And I'm in a project, I can go PMA to add it as a project, and PMR to remove it. Yeah, why not? Like a project management file where you kind of keep track of your projects. Yeah, it sounds also interesting. Yeah, I'm just not used to like bash scripting. I did write some bash scripts, but I'm always struggling with the syntax. Yeah, glad I could help. So I'm wondering if we switch here to this version. If this will resolve our issues. Let's find out. Actually go back here. Boop, 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 boop. Remove this part because it will fail on build, right? Okay. Now we need to switch our configuration back here to use the build server we just published. Not the build server, the LSP server, I mean. So NVM and IO driver programs, yes. Let's clear the logs again. And the IO driver program, right? So you're back here and look at the logs. Get still the same issue. Yeah. Microsoft Code Analyzer assembly loader cannot be loaded, or at least doesn't have the same function here. Let's actually find the repository of it. So it's here in Roslyn. Assembly loader. Compiler server. Sub analyzer. Analyze assembly. Let's find that is here in diagnostic. Assembly loader. Partial one here. If.net, then it does this part. And if, okay, so it's only it for .net. And .net is pre-compiler directives.net. I started to use make more as well. I used to rely on my shells auto completion back when I used fish, but now I just utilize make a lot more. E.g. MC will build my project and copy to specific directory, aliases to make build copy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Yeah, you kind of, instead of creating key mappings in neovim, you're creating aliases in bash. It's an interesting idea. I was thinking also like for the work, creating some custom picker for like picking items or like project items from from Jira and stuff, or GitHub or whatever, stuff like that. Because yeah, sometimes using the web browser to actually search for the items we're currently working on is annoying. Having a fuzzy finder where you can just search for specific item would be great. It sounds really backward, but these short little aliases and functions in Bash have made me even more efficient than when I put loads of stuff in neovim. Like even just hopping out of the editor to change files, it seems so wrong to do, but it's actually incredibly efficient. It's hard to explain, you just gotta experience it to know. Yeah, it's like if you're trying to explain someone that neovim just makes much more fun to program with. Most of the people would not understand if they never like really tried it for a couple of weeks. So we had this net. This is .NET 5 plus. So actually .NET Core. So for .NET Core, we get do we have somewhere there has to be something wrong with the compilation. Like this should be there. So this should be definitely there. Let's go back again here. So this must be it. And here we have again if net. And else. I use Emacs key bindings at the shelf, funnily enough, and then neovim as editor, because vmode in bash was pretty bad. VI mode in bash was pretty bad. Yeah, I think they had improved VI mode a little bit in like bash 5 or something. But yeah, it's still hard. I tried it once also, but never really get used to it. I rather start neovim and then jump to the terminal. Because for me, like many terminal emulators and stuff introduce VI bindings, but they still differ. And yeah, I just like to open it up in neovim because then you just have all your plugins and things working. And yeah, you don't have to remember that it's slightly different if you're trying to use VI bindings in the terminal. Oh, and you see you're searching GitHub for stuff. I was doing that for the source code and it would just give me terrible search results. So I then realized I have RG and cloned the project, used ctags as well, and now I just search rapid shell mindset. I need my CV and dot to repeat stuff. Without that, I'm good. I'll just use default bindings at that point. Okay. Yeah, for me, it's more like selection and stuff. I don't like to type stuff that I'm mostly copied from somewhere and paste it in. So when I doing some shell stuff and I have like something in the output that I want to copy, it's just pain to use some of the key bindings of the terminal emulator or other key bindings like say from bash or something. It's just easier. Use the neovim terminal and jump there inside the buffer. So if I need to highlight something, then I can use tmux copy mode, and that uses a better VI, one that has visual mode, etc. Okay. Yeah, it's just a different approach, I guess. because Vim is like IDE for me. So I do everything in Vim, like others do everything in, let's say, ReSharper, JetBrains IDE for C#. Like there's also built-in terminal and stuff. They do everything in there. So like neovim is really kind of IDE, but yeah, lightweight IDE, I would say. Or like TJ tried to coin PDE, personal development environment. ReSharper utilize terminal often. I didn't know that. Oh, maybe I confused it with what was it called? Oh, I don't remember anymore. JetBrains, C# editor, Rider. So I just maybe confused ReSharper with Rider. You're right. It's not ReSharper, it's Rider. What I meant. I think ReSharper is kind of built in Rider. And nowadays, I think the ReSharper is even available for Visual Studio Code. This was quite a surprise when I saw this in the news. So I don't still have any idea why this does not find the function. I mean, yes, there, like for .NET, it seems that this would be the function. And the one we try to call is this one. I'm not sure how it's translated behind the scenes. Analyzer, assembly analyzer, loader. Which project do you mean? Hijacking UA games to turn them 3D stereoscopic. Okay, nice. I remember a little bit about that. I think I never really understood how this should work, actually. Brakes incoming. Okay, let me see. Stereoscopic output. Uh-huh. Right eyes. This is achieved by using technologies like side-by-side rendering, where the left and right eye views are placed next to each other, or through other methods like row interlacing, and is often viewed with special glasses or on auto stereoscopic displays that do not require them. Okay. Like, why do you want that? Like for VR or? Stereoscopic refers to a technique of creating the illusion of depth in an image by presenting slightly different views to each eye, mimicking human binocular vision. This one. This one. Ah. But when you did that, what do you want to do? Like, what's the use case for this? So, like, what directly comes to my mind is like really VR. it's attractive to people who love 3D. It's similar to VR, but companies like it, and it's becoming more popular. Okay. So when you're done, like with MVP version of your project, maybe you can showcase it. This would be interesting to see. Like when you go to the cinema, there is an option to watch the film in 3D, right? Why is that? It's more immersive and feels more real. But like in cinemas, I thought there are like two different or two main different ways how you can achieve 3D in a cinema. I intend to release public demos on a few games. Oh, this would be interesting. Maybe you can post it then. I would really like to see that. Little Nightmare 2, Black Myth, Wukong, and maybe Stellar Blade. Yeah, it sounds definitely interesting. I would like to see it, how this works. Yeah, it's fine. Would be nice, thanks. Mm-hmm. What did I change? Then the package build props. Build settings props. Any CPU platform target. Oh no, it hangs. What did I do? Okay. Was too hard to switch to this directory? Strange. So I think I will just kill the terminal. And OmniSharp. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's TBEnet 10, right? Oops, let's go back. OmniSharp, Roslan, this one. And build slash settings props. Tool version. Let's see .NET tool version. And project. You recently dissolved TAA ghosting issue. Motion blur, ray tracing, air, water reflections, camera calling like a huge fix. It's that shell workflow I'm telling you. Okay. Nah, not really, but it's still nice that I can just zoom around not only my editor. I see. Otherwise, there is a tool version attribute on the project element. This effective tool version. Otherwise, the default tool version of the parent engine is the effective tool version. Can we just remove this part here for now? Maybe, or we can just search for it. Just want to see what's everywhere else. We have also tool version 14. Let's actually see, what do we have in BSP? Package props. And then we build props. Default build target. Let me just compare here a little bit. No, not here. Here. I just would drop this part here. Version. I don't know if this is the issue or not, but why is this even moved to a separate file? Doesn't seem like it will load. Logs. Let's remove this. Standard IO driver program. Ignoring sub 5 from in process. Let's update to a new version. It's strange that it cannot find it. So maybe we can find which package is distributed. Compiles core portable. Analyzer, assembly, loader. Benchmarks. Unable to resolve pragmastat for .NET 8 package source mapping is enabled. The following source were not considered. Library packs .NET 2, .NET 6, NuGet. What's pragmastat? Change. Oh, so this is for tests or something. Benchmark the test. Language version 9. Wie old? So Perforlizer. And this is part of benchmark.net. Oops. 0.15. So maybe we just back here the previous version. Also I wanted to look into the package log here. Microsoft code analysis. Maybe code analyzers. Pictures props. Try to find a relation here. So we updated it. Maybe just give it a try to rebuild if this solves anything. Clean. Strange is this is Microsoft Code Analysis NuGet just wrapper is not a real package, but just a container for multiple packages. Strange that it does not have any dependencies. Or I mean no package depends on it. At least here. This log file. Analysis common C#. External omniscient. So it depends here on analyzers. Have an external one here. And this one has Microsoft Code Analysis C#. Cheers. This one. C# workspaces. Contains rules for correct usage of API from the Microsoft Code Analysis NuGet package. Not compiler platform Roslyn. Compiler platform Roslyn APIs, they are primarily aimed toward helping authors of diagnostic analysis, code fix providers, and other tools built on top of Microsoft Analysis to invoke the Microsoft Code Analysis API in a recommended manner. This package is included as a developer dependency of Microsoft Code Analysis NuGet package and does not need to be installed separately if you are referencing Code Analysis NuGet package. Okay. So it would be fine if I just reference this topper one. This is all in one package, a superset of all assemblies. You can install any of these subpackages if you only want part of the functionality. Okay. Search for OmniSharp here. Features external access. .NET standard. supporting package for OmniSharp. External access OmniSharp analyzers. Analyzer assembly loader. OmniSharp analyzers. So C sharp. Oops, come back. C sharp. Portable. Microsoft code analysis. C sharp features. So yeah, I think it's enough for today. Can't wrap around it how this should work. I do understand that it's kind of intent to be loading different analyzer assemblies so that you can extend like the analysis functionality when through your own analyzers, that you can write your own analyzers and they will be loaded. But I don't get why this does not work with OmniSharp own analyzers. Analyzer options. Searching for the namespace. Maybe we can find more here. Let's just do two. Analyzer assembly load. System IO. This is definitely for the path stuff. Where does the analyzer assembly loader come from? Like this, there is no using for it. Yeah, that's it for today.